What's going on, everyone? We are live, Creators Corner. Today we are kind of sans Greg Hopkins because he is, he's still working on Wonder Woman 750, getting all those inspected and taken care of. And
I'm sitting next to Cory.
yeah, he's right there. We were going to have this big Greg versus Greg battle royal thing, where we had like this legendary draw off, who could draw the best stick figure. But Greg Hopkins chickened out.
Oh.
I would too.
Come
To
on,
be honest.
believe in yourself.
So you know what? He's fixing to unleash it. Anyways, so we're here with cover artists for Marvel, DC, and Zenescope, and lots of other publishers. Greg Horn. You guys see what was the most recent thing you've done besides what we're going to talk about shortly? The Spider-Gwen, Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that was Spider-Verse #1.
Yep, I have those. Those are amazing. All four of them. Very beautiful covers.
That.
So one of the things I want to talk about is you have the books we're going to talk about now. You have the bar has been set, sir.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Mark.
So we have you have Scream. What's the second Scream? Curse of Carnage #1, yes, or
Curse of Carnage? Yeah, it's the number 3.
Number 3. Okay, very cool cover. Now, unfortunately, I haven't had time to read the book, so I'm not familiar with the female character on the cover. But man, that's awesome. I dig the. I don't know. That stuff always kind of draws my attention. The whole, I guess, maybe witchcraft or satanic aspect of certain things. I'm not really sure, but it's creepy. I dig it.
Yeah, it's a long story, but the character's name is Andy Benton, and she is the host of Scream, essentially.
Okay.
But when she got the mania, the Venom gave her the mania symbiote, and along with that came one of the Hellmark sigils. And
okay, I remember when Mania left her and that Lee, what was his name? Lee something or other, took Mania after Venom.
Got out of control. And so she has the ability with the Hellmark sigil to make fire. So that's what I was trying to show there. But when the Scream symbiote was looking for a suitable hostess, it found Andy. So that's how that whole situation came about.
Well, crazy looking lady, good choice.
I thought it'd be cool to have them both on the cover, just to kind of show a progression from one character to the other.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of that one. So now one thing something that you've done several times in the past is the negative cover, like the one right there behind your noggin, where it turns to blue, or like I know you did that with one of your Venom covers.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. What was your? Why did you decide to do? Yeah. It's cutting out a little bit, but I've got you for the most part. What made you decide? Like, what was your? I guess, what brought you to doing that? As opposed to any other, I guess filter or whatever it is you may use to do that cover.
Well, it's kind of funny you bring that up because I had kind of sworn off negative covers because I did a cover about 3 years ago, and the retailer had Marvel just simply put it in Photoshop and invert colors, and I just think that's kind of cheesy. I didn't like that. I said, hey man, just send me. I'll do my own artwork on it. But this one's kind of interesting because this cover, can you see it there? Yeah, this cover is all oranges and yellows.
Yeah.
I tried to keep the color palette very limited, and when you do a negative of it, it keeps that sensibility about it, and it switches to all blues. I don't know if you can see it with all the layers in here. We have a lot of lighting here in the warehouse.
I can
I just thought it looked cool.
pull it up here. I think I may have it on your let me pull up your Greg Horn art, and I'm going to share my screen as well.
Okay. Yeah, the guys, they were like, why don't you try a negative cover? And I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. And we put it in a Photoshop just to see what it would look like, and we were like, whoa, that's actually pretty impressive. So I pulled the trigger on it, and we did it.
You telling why don't you stop telling me how to do my job, and I'll stop telling you how to do yours? Input I know from those guys I know is very valuable sometimes because they read the comics, they actually have their attention on the market a whole lot. It's one of the things that Art Germ is on me for is what fans react to that he doesn't quite see because he's a very, very busy guy, as are you. So
yeah, sometimes it's really difficult to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on, so it helps to have knowledgeable people around you and people who are always in the game and able to give you up-to-date advice.
Yes. Let me find that image I saved. I don't even know where it went. But I mean, if you want to see the image a little bit better, guys, you can go to Greg's Facebook page or just greghornart.com. Correct?
greghornart.com, yeah.
Yes. And you can buy these books.
And it's the same on Facebook. It's just Greg Horn Art.
Yeah. And then you also have a forum for yourself as well, the secret forum.
Yeah, we've started a private group. It's a little long-winded. It's Greg Horn Comic Collecting Forum, but if you write in Greg Horn C, it'll pop up. And that's where we do, from your group, that's where you can do things that are kind of secret and, you might not want it put out there in the public. Some of it's a little bit, how would you describe it, Mark? It's not for the faint of heart.
The seedy underbelly of the Greg Horn world?
You're likely to be insulted, but it's all good nature.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes it's not, but it's fun.
I've read some things. There was a meme posted in there the other day that I woke up. I mean, I just woke up and I saw this, and I about died laughing and choking on coffee. There's something to do with a hot dog machine. I don't know if it's still up, but if you guys want to see it, I'm not going to talk about it. Go request to be in the Greg Horn forum, and you'll be able to see it. We spread that around the comic shop that day.
I tell jokes there that I would never be able to get away with on my main page.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what's going on there.
And
of course, I allow things that I wouldn't allow.
Oh man. So where's that?
Yeah.
Coming from here? Is that the Taekwondo? Okay. We have a Taekwondo studio next door. I don't know if you guys, anybody that's watching my Facebook knows that's where my kids go. And man, they're I'm picking up all their music. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can. I'm going to end up with a copyright violation over them.
As long as they don't knock your comic books off the wall, who cares?
Man, we were talking about that earlier. When they first started, they had these things against the wall, and they just kept kicking the daggum wall. And I've got my Lady Death Art Germ artist proof up on the wall there, which is a very – I'm not sure the monetary value, but I'm pretty sure it's worth more than my life. So they kept kicking the wall, and it was rattling and bouncing. It's in one of those inline 4 frames from the collector resource. Neat frame, neat display for the book. So, I was very afraid that it was going to hit the ground and crack. So,
and then if you go in there and lodge a complaint, you might get beat up by a bunch of little 6-year-olds.
Yeah. Or my kids.
It's not.
My kids.
It's not going to turn out good.
My little 2-year-old, man, that kid can throw an axe kick like nothing I've ever seen. There's video of it. So with in doing this, what tell me the story behind what kind of went down with the mishaps, I guess. You made a post about it. What?
Well, I had I caught the flu
Mhm.
earlier in the year, and I thought it was going to be one of those, like, I thought it was a cold. I thought it was going to go away in 3 days, and I'd be back to Greg. But man, it was just one of those flus that just lingers, and all the symptoms just wouldn't go away. And when our sale came out, we were getting reports of people getting one of those 404 page not found code things. So we looked into it. The people that I run my shop through, I don't know if you're doing it through Shopify, but I'm doing mine through Shopify.
Yeah, that's
and
what
the only advice they were telling me to tell people to empty their cache on their browser. And I was like, well,
yeah. Let me tell 2,000 people to dump their cash.
I don't know if everybody's going to see it, but essentially, we weren't able to get it fixed for some people until later in the day. Also, some people just, they went one time to go get the product, and when they couldn't, they left and never came back. So, and that's the problem, because there was a discount code that you get through my private group, and the discount code expired. So I wanted to relaunch this book, and it has taken me till now to get the book relaunched. So that's 2 weeks that I was just out of commission. So, I had to apologize for anyone that they're used to getting a quality of service that I put out with my guys here, and we just couldn't come through on that one. So we're gonna relaunch it for this Saturday.
Well, and to be fair, yeah, bud.
What's that?
Oh no, I was just gonna say we drink a lot in here, Cory. So that
I just got shushed by Greg Horn.
Keep on doing that, Greg.
Hey,
this is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do.
All I got from Mark is that we're a bunch of raving drunks.
No, but I mean, in fairness for you guys, as a retailer that uses Shopify as well, there are a lot of times when things go a little wonky with that site. Like I've had quantities change on me, and I didn't do anything. I've had something launch when it wasn't supposed to launch. So it's a very good service overall, but there are things that can, it can make us look like a bunch of idiots, and it's out of our control. So we do the best we can as retailers to provide, your fans, our Germs fans, as every comic artist fans, the best, service we can provide. But, unfortunately, tools break sometimes.
Right.
So,
right. And also, I did want to explain what the relaunch means, because the discount code has expired. We're going to offer a new discount code to our VIP members, to people in the group, and but the product is available now if you're not interested in joining those things. So it's kind of funny. The people who are on my normal social media, they're able to get it now, but the people that are my VIPs, they have to wait until Saturday, because I want to make sure everybody knows that there is a new discount code. You do get a second shot at this with the discount.
Yeah, and as well as I do, and not to get too much into the game of, but a lot of times when you launch something, as a retailer, you have to hit a mark. You have to be fluid, and sometimes it actually hurts the back end of sales, because people see it and they're used to seeing it for so long, and then all of a sudden they, your impulse buys, I guess, where the people that would back away. Your fans are always going to be your fans. They're always going to buy your art no matter what. That's it. But a lot of times, retailers, we do rely on some impulse buys, because once they see it for so long, it's not as hot, not as new anymore, and then they move on to the next thing in their mind.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't guess that's really a secret. I think that's just basic knowledge. But
yeah, some of these covers don't seem to have a lot of they don't have
longevity.
legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people, man, just want that next new thing.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, like we've had some of our books that didn't go off as well as I had anticipated. Because I'm sitting here in my head, I'm like, Stanley, this is going to be a fire ass book, man. This thing's going to sell out in like 2 hours. 2 months later, we're sitting here, and it'll trickle out, Stanley. But I mean, and it is. There's no book that you have that's never not going to sell out, because you're always going to have a fan. Some new eyes there's going to be on it, and they're going to come, they're going to see it, they're going to love it, and then they'll pick it up. That's one of the positives about comics, is just because it doesn't go off like, you don't sell out instantly. You'll have it at conventions. New fans will be able to get it, because hell, we've had fans that don't even have social media accounts coming in and buying one of every book we had at the convention.
Oh yeah.
That's I don't know. It's one of the weirdest things I've experienced as far as that goes. Just like you would think that fans of Stanley, who made his career through online, would do would know kind of that kind of stuff. I'm not really. But anyways,
when I'm at shows, that's one of the first questions I'll ask somebody. I'll say, hey, are you are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? You got to go at it as if the person you're talking to has never met you before. You know what I mean? You got to treat them like a brand new person. And once you find out that they're on one of these social medias or Instagram, of course, you give them your flyer and try to say, hey man, we're having fun here chatting. Let's continue this year round.
Yeah. And that's, one of the other things I want to break into as far as being able, while I have you here, is you have a convention setup that is the second. I mean, it's incomparable when it comes to other people. I mean, what you have, I don't believe would work for anybody else. Well, they call it whatever they want. It works.
They call it the dog and pony.
Yeah, well. Regardless, I mean, I don't know if is that a compliment or is that a rag? I'm not. I guess depending on who it comes from. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's coming from friends, so it's okay.
Yeah, I think we're good then. But it is like I see your setup, and then I look at what we have, and it's just like two polar opposites, and like they're both successful. You have a very it's not so much, I want to, I guess, extravagant to a degree, but it's still professional. So I mean, it's really hard to describe. It draws you in.
Yeah, you want to walk a tightrope. You want to stand out, but at the same time, you don't want to be gaudy or obnoxious. It's tricky.
Out front, none of those.
Once. You got to get Mark to dance out front.
Cory,
that'll bring the
hey, I dropped dollars. I put dollars in his underwear. I would.
Cory said he's going to be our first customer.
Yes, sir. That's right. I'm there. Where am I flying to?
Hey, $1 my phone, and you can't go wrong. Hey, Cory, the word you're looking for to describe his setup is heavy. It's very heavy. Ask the people at FedEx, dude.
So here's one of the things I've wanted to ask too, because I've had a couple of guys too. When I see other retailers, or artists, they'll get their grid wall, which you use sometimes, yeah, or most of the time at least. Like when you get off to I don't know, like you go all the way to Seattle, Emerald City. Now, do you leave your grid wall, or do you bring it back with you?
Well, in the case of grid wall, it's funny you bring that up because that is a special case there. The weight ratio to the cost of mailing it anywhere doesn't match up. It's usually cheaper to just order more grid wall to the next show.
Yeah, or find a fan that doesn't mind. Yeah. I mean, like I said, for us, like if there's anything we wanted to leave behind, which there really isn't, because we keep a very minimal setup. Very, very minimal. Tablecloths and top loaders for prints. That's pretty well it. And you're a bit more personable than a lot of artists I see. Like you actually you don't wait for the fans to come up to you. You grab the fans. It's like, hey, you're not a fan of me. You should be. Let me tell you why. I mean,
Well, I used to sit at my table with my head down drawing, and and then the conventions became kind of a side career to my actual comic book career.
Mhm.
And I was going to a lot of these events, and then one day I just got bored. And I was like, I'm bored. Well, I think I'm just going to stand up and stretch. And I just started talking with people, and I don't know, man. I just find it fun. You're there face to face with your fans and cracking jokes. You're not getting much work done, but I enjoy it.
It is, and that's honestly that's comics itself. The whole idea behind. Like, I know there's a business to it. You know what I mean? That's why that's why you guys hire people like me. And my Greg, and I call him my Greg because he's not you, but so you guys continue to have the fun and enjoy it, rather than dealing with all the BS that comes with it. There is a lot of business in it. Sometimes I don't even find fun. I'd rather not do it and pass it on to somebody else. Hence, Greg. I'm pointing. Yeah, you know what I mean. But it looks weird when I'm doing that. Like I'm trying to point at you. Steve is still doing that. But shit. But yeah, I forgot where I was.
You're gonna get your Gregs mixed up, man. It's gonna be a
No, I think I have them right. I think when I'm doing that, it's gonna confuse the viewers because I'm sitting here, I'm pointing over here because that's where Greg is, and I'm pointing at you on the screen. So it's like, what is this guy talking about? Let's see what we got. Some questions here. Greg and Mark. Let's see. True, I can spot Greg and Mark aisles away. I'm assuming Mark. I'm not sure which Mark he's referring to. Silvestri, maybe? It's spelled like Mark Silvestri.
This Mark right here.
Oh, that Mark. You Mark with the C?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's George. What's up, George?
I'm Mark with the C, man. So Mr. Freebird says, bookmakers killed you in Cleveland too, Greg. How your Howling Commandos book wasn't there for you. Always expect the unexpected. I don't know. That's what whoever Mr. Freebird is. Mr. Freebird 69, I might add.
That's my year. He might be,
he's a man of taste. But bookmakers killed you in Cleveland too, Greg. Your Howling Commandos book wasn't there for you. Always expect the unexpected. Did you have a Howling Commandos book that damages or didn't get shipped out, or?
No, I had a Walking Dead. Did he say Cleveland or Detroit?
He said
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah, I had a Walking Dead cover for one of the Cleveland shows.
And something about it didn't. It wasn't there for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
You in the dead of night.
We're gonna have to investigate this further.
I think so.
Somebody called Batman.
All right, I'm drawing my stick figure right now. I am going to eat your Greg.
Okay, so while you're doing that, we have to take a moment to wish your wife happy birthday. Today is her birthday. It is.
Happy birthday, Betsy!
Happy birthday!
Yeah, I actually posted a picture today. I got her a very large cake, a vase of flowers, and a glass bottle of champagne. And I wanted to walk out there with it with my two kids. And then I realized I don't trust my kids to carry any of those items. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to put it on a table and start the party like that.
Well, there you go.
Choice, right?
I agree. I'm not sure I'd trust my kids with any of those items either. Because one, they'd probably all be gotten into by the time we got out there. I'm intrigued to see this now. So what your con schedule? You're doing a pretty decent con schedule this year. I noticed. I went on your greghornart.com. If you want to know any of your appearances, you have them all listed right there. You may add some, maybe not. Are you booked for the year?
Yeah, no, we've got I've got 6 shows. I decided to do to be a little more proactive this year, get my shows set up earlier than usual, and we've done a pretty good job at that. We're going to be at C2E2, Emerald City, Dallas Fan Expo, MegaCon, SuperCon, and of course, San Diego. You know, I got a booth at San Diego, so I'm not in NACO.
Now, San Diego is, you know, Greg Hopkins over here. He's been to New York, and he's I think his dream is to go to San Diego. What now, in your experience, you know, you were upstairs at New York, and you know, I was downstairs. I didn't really get to see a whole lot of the upstairs and the insanity that really ensues up there. I was up there for a brief moment, and I wanted to quickly go outside because it is a madhouse up there. It's so packed and just everybody trying to get everywhere. And I can't.
Yeah, man. Sometimes in those aisles, it can just get, you know, ass to elbows. It's crazy.
Artist Alley was even.
Oh, so you
I
have
heard Artist Alley was even. I was down there last year.
yeah, it was crazy. You know, the one thing that was kind of odd about it is it is in such a linear. The way everything was lined up, I couldn't see from one end to the other to see where any artist was. That was one of the things. The only confusion I felt about that one. Of course, I don't run the shows. There's probably a reason they did that. There's a reason they do that, and I do this. So, you know.
Are you ready? Are you ready for my stick
Are you
figure?
ready, Greg? Hopkins,
Here it
here's your
comes.
stick figure. You ready for this? Here it
I
is.
better win this, or I'm going to be really embarrassed.
Oh, sure.
Oh, look at that. Perfect lines, sir. Perfect lines.
He's a ruler.
Okay. All right, I gotta admit, I'm a little cheater here. Somebody asked me to do a stick figure 5 years ago, so I've had practice. That is my standard stick figure drawing. I admit it.
If he beats me in golf, then like I don't really.
I can do a good Deadpool too.
Oh. So, no, but can you do it? So, we were, those of you who don't know, we were going to go, and I still want to. I had an issue come up with my kids, you know, that I had to be there to watch my kids. We were going to go eat at Topgolf, have lunch at Topgolf. That was the plan, anyways, or something. One of those golfing places where you get to hit golf balls and eat food.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we thought you were going to come down.
Oh,
here
yeah,
and visit,
Cory,
so
we were going to get you down here and not show up.
I was going to take you to this place. It's called the Drive Shack, and it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a casino type setup, and the back end of it has balconies where you can sit on lounge couches, chase lounges, and there's a bar, and you just whack golf balls off the back of the balcony. It's,
See, here's the plan.
I don't
What
know.
we're going to do. I am god awful.
The vision you're getting, it is awesome.
I am horrendous at golf. So the plan was I was going to come up and make you feel like you were, you know, top shit there. And then
Okay, well,
Greg Hopkins, who was a golfer, was going to come in and then, you know, show us how people play golf. That was the plan.
No, we wouldn't be playing anything close to golf. It's more about pure aggression.
I have plenty of that.
Drink.
I don't know if you've met me, but I'm a pretty intense guy, Greg, and I have a lot of that. What do you think?
But hey, yeah, next time you come down here, we can still do it. And like I said, you know, there's no skill required, man. It's just you zeroing in on that ball and hitting it as hard as you can.
Yeah, but isn't there like a little bit of a risk? Because I know like Topgolf, there's really no safety thing there. So if you drink a little bit too much and you try to
could
kill more of that shit. No, I'm talking about you running off the edge and like, or me running off the edge.
We'll all wear like a catcher's mask.
Safety harness.
Holy mask.
Oh man, tie off to the couch so that way when we fall, we pull it down on top of us. Anyways, so that's going to be pretty much it. We're still trying to work this format out and everything, and get everything set up. As most people know, I try to fly by the seat of my pants, and well, it works sometimes. So, if you guys get it, yeah, not quite as well as that Q&A back in September. That was that thing was long, man. It was supposed to be like a 20-minute talk turned into 2 hours.
Yeah, that was fun though. I had a good time.
Yeah, I did. I had a blast as well. Maybe once we get the following built up and we get people in here actually, to instead of the 3 questions, we can get maybe 30 of them. We'll have you back and do it again, and then maybe do a quick live sketch or something. Just a doodle, like a middle finger.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'd be fun.
But that's going to be pretty well it for us tonight, guys. We're going to get back after finishing up Wonder Woman 750, as I'm sure Greg and his guys have to get back to shipping out their orders. Because I saw a post not too long ago where you had stuff stacked up to the ceiling. I mean, it was impressive. I got to admit. I've never been able to Jenga some boxes together that high before. That's a help stack.
All right, I'm gonna have to give Mark and Gary all the credit on that one. They're the masters.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Go to greghornart.com, pick up his newest cover for Scream number 3, and join his Facebook group. Go in, Go request to join his Facebook group, and get the discount code for Saturday. You'll be happy you did. So, anyways, thanks for coming on, Greg, and thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.